Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Yalik, and I'm gonna do a talkie op hit. I haven't done a talkie op hit in a while, and I had a fun one this afternoon. Excuse me. Finishing this Ransom. It looked fairly standard from the get-go, but that was because my scouting had been poor, and well, it got a little hairy on the way, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, I knew somewhere down here, there we go, Sven's got Ransom. That's also Sven on Ransom. And then there had been some hits over here, whatever. I see one there. There was another one. Anyway, there had been a bunch of hits on Ransom ahead of me, so this wasn't like a solo or anything. This was masterpiece boosting with the GBE tribe that we have right now. And yeah, not a bad Ransom, right? I think I had like 500,000 left to do. You got a couple solid shocks over here, but nothing too big. The blaster doesn't range, so 2 shocks. And Sven had tagged this at some point. He told the other guys, hey, leave it alone, because he knew I could finish it pretty easily. Well, so I just assumed, yeah, well, GG, good to go, whatever. And I did the masterpiece boost. I checked out my GBE beforehand. Didn't love my flare here, so I'm going to change the flare spot in a second. And so far so good, right? And right about here I realize we have a problem. Okay, got that smoke out. Go to flare up here. Guess what? There's nothing up here, because somebody ahead of me cleared out that defense. They forgot to flare the core. When you do this bullet hit, it's called the bullet wrap. There's usually a defense in this corner. You can see it was destroyed. It was a machine gun, and you flare to that, and then you reflare to the core. However, if you forget to reflare to the core, then what happens is your Zookas will kill this first, and that's kind of a problem, because that's your anchor for this hit. And all of a sudden, right here, I realize I'm in deep, deep trouble. This is probably some of the fastest thinking that I've ever done in my life, which is why we're showing this as a hit. So this smoke right here and the next smoke that follows it, this is all me thinking that fast. And I didn't try putting this as a video with like subtitles and stuff, because there's no way to convey what happened in these 2 smokes. It's like these moments between here and right about here. So my first thought was, shoot, I should probably reflare. Now, pretty standard hit with brick would be from somewhere in this area, but then there's a bunch of things to shock. I didn't full boost because I wasn't expecting to need to, and also I don't have brick, so which would be great for the damage, but I have Bullitt, and Bullitt is there for a shield. He's here for protection. So my first thought was to reflare to here, and I realized that I was, you know, just losing Bullitt at that point. I wasn't really gaining anything by doing that. And so the next thing that popped through my head very quickly here now at this moment was, honestly, just to let it play out. So sometimes you'll see a Ransom where there are no defenses above it here at 12 o'clock. They'll just be empty space. And those Ransoms are really, really good to hit with brick, and I love doing that hit, because you're stuffed way over in the corner there, and you usually have some fewer things to shock, and you can do a bunch of damage because you have brick, so it looks more impressive than the usual Ransom. It goes quicker, and so on. And the Zookas take a really predictable path on that. And so at this point I realized that the best thing I could possibly do was not to screw with it. The Zookas will walk along this wall right here as you see them, and then if you flared up to this spot over here, I mean, I have. If you were doing that intentionally, say with the brick hit, what the Zookas will do is once they leave this spot walking between the machine guns, they'll just end up walking along this left side of the core at 9 o'clock. And then they wrap right at this corner. They just curve right around the corner and walk back to here. So I realized, just like trying to do damage control right here, I realized I could take advantage of knowing the path that they were going to take and try to get Bullitt into some kind of a useful place and get some sort of advantage out of his ability to protect other troops, the Zookas here. So ended up going I decided to shock him there at the core and let the Zookas get up into that corner. Honestly, I feel like I've never seen this hit before, and I'm slightly proud of myself because I figured that out, again, in the course of 2 smokes down here, like a panic moment. What do I do? And ended up doing that. Like, if that anchor defense is destroyed from now on, this is my definitive go-to hit. This is what I'm going to try to do, because Bullitt, I realized Bullitt could taunt this defense and the stuff around him. My major problems, there were the 5 machine guns over here. I shocked those the first go-around, and that was just so Bullitt wouldn't, like, die instantly, because machine guns do eat him up pretty quickly. And then the 4 shock launchers back here. Those would be a problem, because if they lock Bullitt up, he can't taunt, and if he can't taunt, then, you know, these machine guns turn on us very quickly, and ball game over. So, yeah, I mean, you see how well the Zookas stacked back into that corner. I lost a few right around brick because of splash damage. You got a couple tiles worth of splash damage, and the rocket fire that was coming in from here nipped them. But I probably would guess we have like 2/3 of the Zookas left, and that's quite a bit of damage. I feel like that could be a very useful hit, and that's something I'm going to go put in my bag of tricks for the next time that somebody destroys my anchor defense and leaves me in this situation. Hopefully next time, though, it'll be planned and intentional as opposed to this. Anyway, just a fun hit. It worked out well. It usually doesn't work out well when you try to improvise on the fly, but in this case it did, and it was a lot of fun. So I figured I'd share. Like, thumbs up, that stuff. I'll catch you later. Have a great night.